Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I have something really exciting to share today. I know I start all my videos that way, but it is really exciting. I am drinking a ginger beer from this brand. I don't know what it's called. It has a Q. I am a little nauseous, so I hope this will help, but I thought I might cheer myself up with this. I know I often start with videos now talking about my health ailments, but that's just kind of the life that we're living right now, and it's not great, you know? Okay, but here we are. We have our thank you card from Atlas. This is something that I never ever thought I would ever be able to add to my collection. And they actually placed it on Doorbuster for, it was either Fountain Pen Day or Black Friday, and I was not able to get it. Somebody talked about it in Discord, and I was like, I cannot believe I missed that deal. And I put myself on the restock notification just in case. Didn't really have any expectation of it ever happening. I'd already spent a lot on their year-end sale, so I really was not looking to get anything else. Then I got the restock notification for this pen, and I thought about it for a few hours. And I had to get it because, I mean, come on. It was an amazing deal, and it's a limited edition, and I really never thought that I would be able to get this. And of all the models of this pen, this is the colorway that I would have wanted originally. So I might even consider selling my original one, the black one, if I need to de-stash between the two. But I'm so excited. The box that it arrived in is ginormous. I did not really expect this. This was released in 2024, I believe. And I remember the price being atrocious, especially for being a special edition where the only thing that changed was the color. And when you compare it to the black one, you can get that one for cheaper sometimes. So it really did not make sense to just increase it for a color. It is a little beat up right there, so perhaps that is why it was on discount. Lately, I've been getting, I don't know, some pens that aren't the greatest, so I would have postponed opening this, but now I'm like anxious that there's something wrong with some of these pens. So let's just sit down and open it together. Oh my god. The box is so big. The front says Lamy in silver font. It has this beautiful pattern. I don't know how to describe that, but it looks really cool. And it is this dark green color. Okay, here we go. Oh. Inside there is another box that's nearly identical. That is just a little smaller. How does it open? I think I should adjust the camera angle. Okay, sincere apologies for the mess on my desk and for the shaky camera angle. I am holding it with one hand now, but here's what it looks like. You're seeing this firsthand with me. Okay, we just dropped something. Here is the Lamy logo. Wow, this is so nice compared to any other Lamy unboxing I've ever done. However, you do technically pay several $100s more, unless you get it on sale, which I did. If it wasn't on sale, I would have never ever gotten this pen. But one piece of black cardstock. Is that the pen? Hold on. Okay, is this a notebook? Is this dark green or black? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh, I'm trying to pull it out using the pen loop. Oh, there's tissue paper on it. Wait a minute. Well, there's so many components. There's a notebook and then a second notebook, but this is probably the user guide. It's textured. That's very cool. I'm balancing things in my lap, but we'll get you back to a better spot soon. What is this? The designer who got forgotten. Gerd A. Mueller? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Is this the actual notebook? Hold on. Switching hands. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Does it come out though? It has a outline in black of a pen on there. Oh my god. I wish I wasn't doing this one-handed. Okay, here's the pen. There was a little bit of sponge in there. And then here is a notebook. Alrighty, it's all balanced on my lap. More tissue paper, and then this is a hard cardstock. This is spongy foam, and then this is a whole piece of foam. So that's what the extra several $100s is getting you in packaging. All right, I need to readjust, and then we can take a look at all the little pamphlets and things that were included. Here we are, back to kind of a normal. Hopefully not trying to knock this over. Got our black piece of tissue paper that I'm going to toss on the ground. You've already seen my desk now, so you can tell that it's not very aesthetic, and because of that, we are permitted to move on. This is a book. The Lamy 2000 fountain pen and the KM3 food processor are well known even beyond design circles. Nevertheless, their designer, Gerd A. Mueller, has faded into obscurity. His designs can be considered pioneering for the development of a new pared back design language among well-known companies. I suppose that is him, and I feel bad that I don't know him, but this seems really, really cool. Do I open it? Is it a book about his design? I should probably open it. I don't know, I'll think about it. Let's see what's in here first. This is the booklet. It is just so beautiful, this pattern. The raised texture. You can hear my nails on it. And it matches this thing. It is pine green. The pen is stunning, but it kind of reminds me of the Diplomat Viper that I have that has been annoying the heck out of me. That's a story for another day or another video. Hopefully this is like an upgraded version of it. Lamy 2000, limited edition 2024. Oh, okay, here's a table of contents. This is so nice. This is like an experience. Unique history and design. In 1966, Dr. Manfred Lamy, wait, I didn't know Lamy was Dr. Manfred, called for a completely new contemporary design philosophy for Lamy writing instrument, laying the foundation for the future of the Lamy brand. Together with Gerd A. Mueller, I really hope I'm pronouncing things okay, you guys, so please forgive me if I'm not. A former designer at Braun, he developed the Lamy 2000 and became the model for the brand's development of many future innovative concepts. I feel like it is their best pen, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. I probably shouldn't sit here and read all of this to you, but I will try to skim and read and talk at the same time because this is a very new experience to me and it is also new to you. But I'm not going to sit here and read the brochure to you. In honor of Lamy's 58th anniversary, Jubilee edition is limited to 5,058 consecutively numbered pieces. Is it numbered? Hold on, we will find out in just a little bit if this is actually numbered. Exclusive notebook with linen binding. This hardcover notebook features an exquisite binding. It's made of linen. It has 160 pages of 120 GSM paper from Munchkin. Extra features include a folder pocket and a pen loop, as well as 2 practical bookmarks. The unknown designer is Gerd A. Mueller. So he's the guy. Together with Gerd A. Mueller, he was a former designer of he and Dr. Manfred Lamy developed the Lamy 2000. So that's why there's so much about this guy, and he's an unknown designer is what they're calling him. But here is the Lamy 2000M, and then here's the limited Lamy 2000 in pine, and then this is Lamy 2000. The fountain pen is a classic. Wow! Is that my number? It was written in ballpoint, I think. Look, that's so cool. 4560. Oh, that is cool. It's so consecutive. Wow. Oh, so cool. I've never had a numbered pen. Wait, no. Is my Leonardo numbered? It might be. I don't remember what was on it. That's not true. I have a Benu that is numbered, and I might have one other pen that's numbered. So that's not true at all. Oh, I have the Novel Lore pen that's numbered, but that is a cool number. Wow. I wish I could have requested a number, but there was only 3 available when the sale came on, and I found out you can see how many things are in stock at a store usually by seeing how many you can add to the cart. And I kept adding to the cart, coming back to refresh and look, and it would disappear. It was down to 2, and then I bought second to last one, and then somebody in the Atlas Discord was interested, so I reached out to them and let them know that it was available but by the time that they read my message, unfortunately it was sold out. So for whatever reason, Atlas had this discounted, and I'm very grateful for that because I was able to get this. So that's wonderful. That is the biggest book I've ever received to describe the pen, but that is so cool. I'm very grateful for this experience. I did start writing poems, which is super cheesy, But they do their TikTok live pulls and I really enjoy watching those. And I decided to challenge myself by writing poems before my orders in hopes that things would sell out before I came up with a creative poem. Anyways, this order did not get pulled on TikTok, but this is the poem that I left for whoever is packing the order to read it. And it says, please pull on TikTok if you have time. If you cannot, that's totally fine. I can't believe it. A Lamy and Pine. Thank you to Atlas for this wonderful find. Congrats to Mama T, a legend at Atlas, on her lovely upgrade to retirement status. Love from the Stationery Dumpling. So yeah, Mama T is Brian and Brendan's mom, who seems like a wonderful lady, and they announced her retirement at the end of 2025, so I thought I'd leave them a note for that. Here we are checking out the notebook. Oh, it's a nice linen cover, rough. It reminds me of, not the Clever Fox, Jumping Fox notebook that I bought years ago when I first joined the bullet journaling on Instagram, and I really jumped around in planners since then. Does that say Lamy at the bottom? It does. The back has a small embossing of the word Lamy. Okay, this notebook is much bigger than your A5. It's a little over 6.75 inches in width and about a little over 9.5 inches in length. I just want to get to the pen. I don't want to crack the spine because it's precious, even though this is my notebook and I can do whatever I want with it. This has the Lamy logo on the bottom. What's the inside like? We've got the name, address, and phone. Oh, it is grid, but it has a grid that's got solid lines horizontally, but every other line is dotted, and then all of the vertical lines are dotted. So it's a dotted grid. Wow, that is thick paper. Can you hear it? That's thick paper. It smells really nice and it's very smooth coated paper. And we've got 2 bookmarks that are these black ribbons. Wow, this is nice. And a back pocket. According to this, it says C. Joseph Lamy, GmbH E69111, Heidelberg, Germany, Lamy.com, made in Europe. And the paper is FSC, supporting responsible forestry. That's the notebook. Really, really awesome. I'll probably save it for a few years and then end up using it one day. I know I should just go ahead and use it, but I don't know. Sometimes I definitely like to save my notebooks. It is catching stuff on it already, which is crazy, but it is a beautiful green. Green is like arguably my favorite color. I love to entertain pink, blue, purple, but green is where my heart lies, and that is why I could not say no to this pen. And with that, let's get on with the pen. It was like a piece of something inside the bag. That's weird. Okay, shall we zoom in? It looks black. I think I'd have to find my black one in order to measure it up against this. Holy crap, look how shiny this clip is. It's so pristine. I don't think the other one is made with that. This is the Lamy 2000 in makrolon pine green special edition, and it is a truly stunning pen. The clip is so pretty. It is so shiny that I can see my face in it and do this to it. I'm afraid of getting fingerprints on it. I think this is actually where the number lies. Let's see if you guys can see it. 4560 out of 5058. Apologies if it's focusing in and out. On the top, we have a very shiny section as well. It looks like it's a dark green gloss or black. Very cool. On the bottom, we have this metal-like section, almost like a stainless steel, which is similar to the regular edition. Here we go. Ooh, look at this. Look at that nib. Look at the underside of the nib. Not bad. It's a little to the left for the feed, but let's do a little close-up. The nib is uneventful. It is one of those like inlaid nibs, but not fully. Look at that. This is like a semi-hooded nib because you can see part of the nib. It's enclosed in a conical shell or hood, so the nib is all but invisible. Diplomat Viper has more of a hooded nib. than the Lamy 2K. Wow, it's beautiful. And that is all we have for that. I decided to grab some of the other pens that I own just to give you an observation of what it looks like next to other pens. So this is the Pilot Elite 95S, the Lamy 2000 in Pine, and the Diplomat Viper. This is the M800 from Pelican. They're actually pretty close. I think it's a little bit bigger. I think it belongs up here. I wanted to grab most of my green pens just so you can see how dark of a green it actually is. Here is my Platinum 3776 in the Laurel Green. You probably can't even tell except for this cap right here. So my lighting is not amazing, but this one is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Mono Leaf, or 1,000 year? Forget what that one's called exactly. My Kaweco Sport in green. Can't remember if it was green or dark green. This is the Makrolon, the black Lamy. So that is actually what that looks like next to this. So this almost looks black, but when you put it next to the original, you can see the difference. Or I hope you can. Let me get more light on it. See, I don't like having too much light because then it's too glossy, but hopefully that helps you guys. And then, of course, our Lamy Safari. This is sort of what level of green you'd be getting, whereas this is the black. So it is actually lighter than your Laurel Green. I want to say they're just not in the same boat because the Lamy Pine is this matte brush texture. It's the makrolon, but these are glossy, like plastic. I mean, that's plastic too. It's just a different type. It's polycarbonate or whatever. This is a metal pen. Where am I going with this? This was just to compare the level of green. So it's not really fitting into any of my other greens, which is very interesting. It is very hard to show on camera what kind of green it actually is. Uncapped and posted. This is what we're going to get for your links. I'm not going to rearrange the order because it's just too much for me right now. But here is, oh, it posts so well. The Lamy 2000, when I first got it, I was not very impressed with it. I was okay, but it was like, okay, so it's good to have one in your collection, but it's not like, it's not my number one pen. My number one pen would probably be like a Sailor or a Pilot, but it actually might be this Pelican. I'm lying to you in the same breath. Like, Sailor, no wait, it's Pilot, no wait, it's Pelican, no wait, it's not Lamy, I'm sorry. If I were forced to sell, I would probably sell this one just to keep this one. It would be hard for me to sell this one unless the nib actually turns out to be really terrible. And I do know you can replace the nib, so even then, I think it would be hard for me to sell because as you can see, I really, really, really enjoy green pens. So on top of it being on sale, this was an amazing acquisition. I feel extremely lucky to be able to get it because it does retail for $540. And this one, current retailers usually have this around $230, I believe, and that's $540. So that's way, way overpriced in my opinion for just changing the color of the body and this very, very shiny clip which already got fingerprints on it. Let me show you up close between the two pens, the black one and the Pine green, and we can just take a little bit of a look at the differences. The thing about the Lamy 2000 is, okay, well actually let me just interject this. This is the Diplomat Viper. If you're between this pen and this pen, get this pen, save up, avoid this one. I unfortunately have not been lucky with getting a good nib on this one. This is my second. The first nib was writing scratchy, and then now this one, I got it replaced, and now it's writing scratchy in the opposite direction. And it's just been a little bit aggravating. So I'm not the hugest fan of it, and that's, I want to say it's a personal preference thing, but I heard someone say that they've never tried a good Diplomat Viper. It is still pretty new. This is not a video to complain about that pen though, so we shall move on. Now let's take a look at the similarities and the differences. Similarities, we've both got this brushed metal section for the grip. Some people don't enjoy that because it is a little slippery and you might find yourself as you're writing to inch closer to the actual nib. Some people don't like the grip because they might actually be in contact with the nib and the ink On the underside, there is a breather hole. I'm trying not to drop these pens. I would be devastated. This one has a medium nib. This one has a fine nib. I'm really glad. At first, I would have preferred this in medium, broad, or something more than that. But now I'm happy to think about it in the sense that I don't need more than two. Or I don't need more, yeah, I don't need more than two of these. But I did not need another medium. So I'm glad that this was in fine. Because this one actually writes pretty broadly. Lamy 2K nibs, they write thicker than you would expect. Both of them have this cool ink window and it is of the same material. And then there are these little tab things, or these little nubs, and they work with these tabs that are inside the cap of the Lamy, and it helps to create the connection for when you cap the pen. It does post and is actually a very comfortable pen to post, and it's almost like a perfect pen. I suppose that depends on your hand size, but for me, it's so not obtrusive to your daily like working flow because it's not abnormally heavy. I wouldn't say simple because I'm sure Gerd A. Muller got a lot of praise for the design, and I'm sure there was a lot of thought into it. So it's not a simple design, but it is a like sleek and professional, minimalistic design. And it's not like overly loud, it's appropriate for work. It doesn't have a super weird balance of cap or weight distribution. If anything, it has a good weight towards this end of the body. And then when you post it, it makes it pretty even throughout. But yeah, it's really good. I don't find myself using the term daily workhorse or whatever very often, but I do hear it in a lot of videos regarding the Lamy 2K, and it just makes sense. It has a piston filling mechanism, which is so sleek it is almost hidden. I don't know why I'm showing it to you on this old pen. I think I'm afraid to touch the new one. Let's see. You can see the seam, but like if you were a beginner like I was, when I first saw this, I was like, how do you fill this? Because I don't know if you can unscrew it here. And I was used to cartridge converter pens, and you can't really unscrew it here, although there is a seam, but it actually has a piston on the end, and you can turn this and you can feel the resistance as you're turning, so you can feel the plunger moving, and eventually you can actually see it through the window. Did you see that? You can see it through the window right there, and that's how you know it's all the way down. You'll dip it into your ink and then turn, and it'll draw the ink back up into the pen. The only annoying thing about this is the cleaning. And then I just watched a video of somebody who opened it around here and they were able to pop the nib out. I'm not going to do that because I just don't trust myself to put it back together properly. I don't know if there could be like a piece missing or something. The inside of both caps, it looks bronze on the end. I don't think you can see it. We do have 4 tabs that kind of act like, I don't know how to describe them. I'm making like a pinching motion, but I can't get into the mechanics of that right now because I don't have the appropriate vocabulary. What else? Oh, we were comparing the difference between the two. This one's the black, this one's the green. They look almost exactly the same, even to where the little nubbies are placed. And yeah, they're pretty much almost exactly the same. The only difference is the cap, which has Lamy and Lamy on this side, Lamy and Lamy, and on the flip side, this one doesn't have anything, and the other one has my number, which is the 4560 out of 5058, and they both have a brushed material. When I first got my makrolon one, I don't know, they're both makrolon. I don't know why they don't call this one black, but I was a bit disappointed because this didn't feel very, it didn't feel very soft. When I tried People's at Pen Club, it felt like so soft and like molded to your hand. Even now, it's still kind of smooth and hard and a little brushed texture. This one's not as bad as this one was, and I would try to pick it up when I had lotion on my hands. Probably is not the greatest for the pen, but it has definitely softened a bit and adjusted to my liking. And along with this metal, this one also clamps like that for the clip. Oh my gosh, it is a freaking fingerprint magnet. This is the only time I will wipe it. I don't see the point of making it like that. This one is a brushed matte metal. This one is a very shiny metal. So what's the point besides making it special? I do think now they have come out with a blue limited edition, a brown limited edition, and now a green. So maybe in the next 2 years they'll probably come up with their next limited edition, I think a plum purple one would go crazy. I think that might draw some people in. But as far as the price point goes, to me it is absurdly expensive. However, I am a Sailor fangirl, and while I haven't acquired a fully $500+ Sailor fountain pen for just the color way, I still have like a mental wish list to one day acquire one. So I can fully understand if you are a Lamy 2000 fan, then you would easily be able to justify that price. Now, I don't know what was going on with Atlas, but they were discounting them that day, and then there were a few that they found and they posted, I believe it was during Black Friday. And so there are 5,058 pens out there in the world, to my understanding. When I went onto the internet, I could not find it at any of the retailers that I usually frequent, and that is very curious because, I don't know, 5,000 feels like a pretty high number to me. Let me clean this and ink up, and I swatched some ink while I'm talking, actually. I didn't realize I'm kind of using up your time. Is it worth the sale price? I think so. I mean, it was probably around $100 more than your regular black one. Is it blue? It is! So Lamy tested the nib. They dip test their nibs. So you could chalk that up to the extra notebook and the extra autobiography. But is it worth the $580 or $540? For me, it is not. But like I said, you like what you like. And I know I've still got some Sailors that I really, really want from Hachimanjiya. And if Pilot made some crazy special editions, I'd probably want those too. For me though, I am very, very content with the green one. I'm not even sure that I would get the blue or brown one. Green is my almost end goal color. Alrighty, we have sort of cleaned it. What I'm going to do is dip test it in Pilot Iroshizuku ink because that's what I personally enjoy using to dip test. I'm sure it would probably be a better, more accurate test if I used Waterman Serenity Blue, but I've just used Pilot ink for so long that that's what I'm going with. For me, that is the #1 standard for a pen. Even if it's a pen that acts weird, if it can write with Pilot Iroshizuku, then you'll be okay. The Diplomat Viper already had this ink in here, and because it gave me such a sour taste in my mouth, not physically, I'm not I'm not drinking the ink, metaphorically, a little tired of seeing this ink, which is crazy because I love this green. So this is the Pilot Iroshizuku Shin Ryoku. We do have our new Pen Day stickers from my sticker shop, Two Sad Dumplings Co. You can find those in the description as well. And then got our handy dandy Good Ink Impressions notebook. Now today we have new pen day. Yay! And it is our Lamy 2000 Pine. We're going to dip test using this Shin Ryoku ink. I'm a little nervous. My nibs have not been working very well lately out of the box. Oh. Wow. This is fine. So let me dip further up. I think it writes okay. I think this might be a preference thing. Oh crap, that was a heavy dip. Okay, so this is the Lamy 2000 Pine, and it has a fine nib. Is it just called Pine? Yes, it is. It is a limited edition, and this is inked with Pilot Iroshizuku. Let me hold it in a more comfortable way. Pilot Iroshizuku. So when I hold it like this, Shin Ryoku, and I hold it like this and turn it sideways, also okay. I noticed with my other pens, depending on my writing angle, it actually has problems writing. And when I say other pens, I mean pens that I unboxed recently, so that's why I'm a little nervous. This is our downstrokes. Down, up, up, left to right. Here's the thing, it's starting to run out. It feels really good and pretty consistent in all directions, although a left to right has a little bit of feedback. And it is very different, in my opinion, from the medium. The medium feels very smushy and is very like a joyful, smooth writer. This one is also wet and smooth. We'll have to do another dip. Perhaps I'm dipping too far up. You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit naive with this pen. I only own one other one, so it's not my most well-versed pen. Is it smooth? Yes. Is there feedback? Yes. People might have a complaint saying that there's a small window of opportunity to write. Like if you turned it this way, you cannot write at all, or this way. But if you hold it at a certain angle, then it will write. And it does match my personal writing angle, which I am very thankful for. Reverse, we've got that. And then a higher reverse will give you some scratchiness, actually. I don't think I am a fan of the fine nib. I do appreciate the size of the letters that it gives us, but I think it's definitely stiffer. And if I remember correctly, my medium almost feels smushy when I am just writing and applying no pressure, just my normal writing pressure and the weight of the pen. This one feels like stiffer, and I didn't realize there would be such a big difference between the fine and the medium. But let's pull out the medium. I do like to keep it posted. I feel like unposted it is fine, but it almost feels slippery, and with it posted it gives you enough weight to keep it balanced and comfortable. So we're going to dip it with the ink again, this one, and this is the Lamy 2000 Pine in a fine. Oh no, in the medium. I do think I dried it off a little too fast, so perhaps we should do that again. Yeah, you can hear the feedback, but I think I'm just happier with a medium nib. Should I switch it? I'm not going to until I am confident with switching, but I'm very curious now. I need to do more writing, but we're going to move my ink so I don't knock it over. I only saw a few reviews of this pen online, so I am very curious who else bought this from Atlas at the nice price, or who of the other 5,058 people have bought it. So if you did get it, let me know in the comments, or let me know if you bought a blue one or a brown one, because I am very curious. I feel very honored, I'm not sure if that's the right word, privileged to be able to add this one to my collection. It has definitely dried out from its dip. I don't think it is appropriate to compare anymore unless I ink up both of them. So I'm going to pull out some inks to ink it up, and maybe another day I will do a more in-depth line width comparison. But as of right now, before my battery dies and I'll have to switch scenes again, I prefer the medium, which sucks because it's such a beautiful pen. They only offer it in the fine. I'm sure I could switch the nibs. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips for that. Let me grab some ink. I have a feeling this one is gonna be the closest, but maybe I just feel like trying these other ones. So we're gonna swatch these. I know I've swatched these on my channel before, but I'm not prepared enough. I don't have the swatch card, so we're just gonna swatch it again. This ink is from Vinta, and originally I got a sample of this, and I liked it so much that I bought a full bottle. Ooh, that is pretty. This is Vinta. It is a nice medium green that is more olivey, so not pine. I know Diamine makes a pine ink. There's also Laurel from Diamine, from the ink vent, I believe. That was a very sheeny ink, and I don't feel like putting a sheen ink in this new Lamy 2000, mostly because it is harder to clean. There was also the Platinum Forest Black. I really like that one too, but I don't know. I just don't feel like having to deal with a carbon ink in there. And I have a lot of samples too, but for some reason I randomly decided, because it's a piston filler, in case my samples have any issues with them, I don't want to contaminate the pen. This is from Sailor. It's the Japanese tea ceremony. I've actually not inked this up yet in any pen, so maybe I should use this one. Ooh. For a second, I forgot what this one looked like, and I thought maybe it was close to that, and maybe I would have a duplicate, but we're safe. Tea ceremony. It is the 2025 limited edition tea time ink of the year that they released near the end of the year, or right before Christmas. Wow, you can smell the Sailor ink. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this next one is gonna be it. It's just that I inked that one up in my Pelican M600. If you didn't watch that video, you can go ahead and watch it. I will put it in the cards. But despite my initial review, not even a review, I try to say like these unboxings are unboxings, they're not reviews, because if you didn't already know, I'm kind of like blabbering and just kind of discovering things with you guys in these type of videos. But in that one, it was kind of like like once I started getting around to using the pen with ink in it, I didn't like it as much. It didn't always flow. It was a broad nib, but it just kind of gave me not severe issues, but like pause every now and then. And I had this inked in there for quite a while because that pen can hold up a lot of ink. So this will be committing another piston pen's worth. Cult Pen's Diamond Deep Dark Green is very wet. It is very, very beautiful. It is a dark, more subdued ink compared to the other two above it. I know it's not that serious, but I've come to the conclusion that this is the perfect ink match for this pen, but I'm gonna go with this ink because I haven't used it yet and it excites me more than this one. And I think it's because, like I told you, I had it in my Peloton for so long. The other thing I noticed while I was cleaning out this feels so durable and resilient that I almost am kind of forgetting that it's this special, crazy, limited edition that's super expensive. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I suppose it's a good thing because then I'll be less scared to use it. Bad in case I accidentally mess it up and I want to resell it one day. But didn't I just say I would never sell this because it's just a perfect color for me? I noticed that, say for instance, my Peloton M800, every time I ink this, it just feels fragile. I don't know if it's because the nib is so big that I'm afraid of like doing something to it, or because it's so smushy that I'm afraid of like dropping it on the page or something, or accidentally springing the tines. But for this one, because it's so like stiff and the body is so functional, it just feels like, oh, this is a nice pen. And because it's so like non-flashy, I guess, I feel like I need a brighter ink in there just so I don't fall bored of it. I know that's crazy to be bored of a new pen that I just got. Not bored, but like, I don't know if that makes any sense at all. It's kind of just like, I want to be excited and this one will excite me. Unscrew, this thing goes down, first dip. Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about, but I am. And instantly I knew that that was the right decision to pick that one because I'm actually really excited now. I was almost dreading it to ink it up with the Cult Pen's ink just because, you know, for the sake of video. Oh my goodness. What is that? Is that water? You guys, I just noticed. Look at the seam. Do you see it? Everything's fine. This section from here to here is darker, right on the seam. What happened? It's not there. It's not as bad. Like you can barely see anything on this side. I don't think the lighting is helping. You can barely see it, but on that one section, it's darker. Like there's water there or something. It's not from capping it, right? Perhaps ink got on it. Do I dip it in water? Is that gonna mess it up? Oh, I shouldn't. If you dip the pen body in water, does that mess up your pen? Like, does it go into the grooves? Oh man. Clearly, I need to end this video. I'm gonna chalk it up to a manufacturing flaw. But trust me when I say this looks perfectly in line and then all of a sudden there's one section that's a little darker. That's annoying. That's really, really annoying. And I don't think you guys can see it. Oh, there it is, that line. You see how dark it is? But when you turn it here, you don't see it at all. When you turn it here, you see it. Okay, whatever. Hello. This is the Lamy 2009 in a fine nib with Sailor. It's so bright that like, I should have done the deep dark green. I should have done the deep dark green. But it reminds me of matcha, so it's not too bad. I do feel like I'm gripping it harder. I'm putting it on this finger for some reason. And I think it's because it's a fine nib, which is wild because my medium is like writing with one of the best nib experiences, honestly. We have reached a point that I must conclude this video before I somehow convince myself that I'm not happy with this purchase. I believe that I am. I'm very confused by this. If someone could tell me what is happening there, I would appreciate that. And it's really something that I did not notice at all, but now I can't unsee. I'm sure that once I am using the pen regularly, I won't care anymore, but right now it stands out pretty hard. Like I said, it could very well have been my fault from getting ink in the cap. We're done. It has literally been 30 seconds since I've turned off the camera. I turned to a new page and it is so nice. It writes in cursive so beautifully. Cursive. And then in block letters, it's fantastic. Reverse, I'm never going to use, but there's that. All lowercase. Print's nice. And it's so smooth. It's wonderful. It is everything. All my expectations have been met. I'm very happy. I don't know what possessed me at the end of the session right down there, but this was fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you've made it this far in the video, please drop me a green heart or something. Leave me a comment because I really do enjoy reading them and interacting with you guys, especially with something as exciting as this special edition Lamy. I'm beyond grateful that I was able to get this one. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye!